you make an analogy in the book between death and bankruptcy. You reference Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, and a character is asked, how did you go bankrupt? And the reply is 2 ways, gradually, then suddenly.
Yeah.
Is death like that?
I like to think so. So if you know, when we think of death, the death is really the end product of aging. So if you think of aging, what happens is that it's a gradual accumulation of defects at every level, from our molecules to the components in our cell, to cells, to tissues and organs, and then eventually the whole individual. And at every level, you're accumulating defects or changes. Some of them are not necessarily defects per se, they had a purpose. And so you get this accumulation, and it leads to gradual loss of function. And that's the gradual phase of bankruptcy. You're losing money, you know, you're in negative revenue, and you're burning through your cash reserve. And that's the gradual phase. And then suddenly something comes to a head. For example, some critical system fails, like your brain or your heart or your kidney. And so the whole thing just can't work. And this gets to the definition of death. What do we mean by death? Well, while we're alive, millions of cells in us are constantly dying. In fact, many of them have to die for us to continue living. And the paradox is, at the moment of our death, most of our cells are still alive. You know, so it's you know, that's why you can donate organs to transplant recipients. But what we mean by death is the death of the individual, their ability to function as a whole individual.